Hi everybody, it is snowing today in Independence, and so I thought I would go ahead and make a video over here at the temple lot. And I think we'll probably go over to the Community of Christ Temple and then end at the Independence Visitor Center. I'm sorry that I haven't made a video in a while. It's been really busy lately because of the holidays. We're doing a lot of family things. I actually recorded a video at the unveiling of the Kansas City giving machines at Union Station. Like I said, I've been busy, and so I just haven't gotten that uploaded yet, but I'm gonna upload this one first to explain why I'm uploading that one so late. It's a short video, but it was really neat. Elder Christofferson was there. There was also a 70. I can't remember what his name was though. But it was a really amazing experience. I had never been to the unveiling of any of the giving machines. You'll have to let me know if you have and which ones. Have you used any of the giving machines? Let me know in the comments below. But wow. I mean, at this point, I've seen this area under so many different conditions. Everything from sunsets in Canadian wildfire smoke. Like that was at the beginning of this channel for I don't know how long, but I think a couple of weeks. There was all this Canadian wildfire smoke that was producing really pretty sunsets. That was around the time of Community of Christ's 2025 World Conference. And then more recently, we've seen this area with heavy fog. And then unbelievably, if you haven't seen it yet, go back several videos. I was here to record the aurora from the temple lot. Now, that's an experience I never thought that I'd ever have in my entire life, but it happened. And it was bright enough to where you could see it with the naked eye. Sometimes you have to have the aid of your phone's night mode, long exposure, in order to see the aurora at these lower latitudes. But on that night, oh my gosh, you could see the red and, you know, green. It was pretty amazing. So today we get to see it in the snow, and I knew that this day was coming. I know it snows at least a few times during the winter here in Kansas City. At least that's what I've read. I don't think we typically get a lot of snow, but this is just my first year here. Before here, we lived in South Central Kansas, and it would maybe snow, you know, once, twice, maybe 3 times. By the way, I want to point something out. So you have all these world flags, but they have a Community of Christ flag right there with their church emblem. I think that's kind of neat. And actually, you know what? I don't think I ever noticed this. Let's see what it says. So you have it like most of their signs. You have English, Spanish, and French. Community of Christ acknowledges the indigenous peoples that have been caretakers of Mother Earth. Ancestors, including those of the Osage tribe, have called this land home. Together we are all related. United we honor this sacred place and work toward God's peaceable future for all. Actually, that sounds kind of familiar. Maybe I have read it, I'm not sure. But yeah, let's go ahead and go up there. Oh, this is really neat. Gosh, it almost seems like something from a movie or a video game. It's a really surreal atmosphere. Yeah, so it's really cold today, as evidenced by the snow. I think it was in the 20s. I don't know what that would be Fahrenheit, but, or sorry, I don't know what that would be Celsius, but below 0 Celsius. Oh, it's actually pretty hard to walk up this in the snow. My calves are already starting to kill me. I get the feeling we're not going to be able to see the labyrinth. I think that's going to be pretty well covered by the snow. But I guess we do have a good idea where it is based on the benches. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, that was much harder than I thought it would be. Wow, this is pretty. So I grew up in Utah and lived there all the way until my late 20s. So I'm ooh, this is slippery right here. I'm basically on top of the labyrinth, and it has kind of like a slippery, well, I think it's like marble. Anyway, there's a couple like warm spots or something. It didn't feel as cold as it probably should be, so I think those are a couple warm spots. Anyway, I lived in Utah for most of my life, so I'm definitely used to the snow. I'm from the Salt Lake Valley, and when we moved to Arizona, I was so happy to be done with it. Like, I love snow on days like this when it's actively snowing, the snow is fresh. But I pretty much only like it on the first day. After that, it becomes a real nuisance, as you have more traffic on the roads. The snow becomes all like dirty and nasty. It's hard to keep your windshield clean, like when it gets to that point, because as you're driving behind other cars, they kick up all that dirty slush. It's just, I can't stand it. I don't like scraping windshields. I don't like the snow getting on your pants and then melting, and then the water creeping up your pant legs. So when we moved to Arizona, it was great, but I still miss the snow. Then we moved to Texas, and you know, still no snow. I think there may have been like one day where there's like a little bit of snow, and then all of Fort Hood, like everything shut down. because you know they're not really prepared for snow in the south. So it's just safer just to be like, oh, okay, no school, no work. And in Kansas, you know, we didn't have to deal with it too much. Although there was one time, like, we lived in a small town, and if we wanted to go to like Walmart, Best Buy, Costco, or any of these larger chains, we had to drive either like an hour north, an hour south, an hour east, or an hour west. And one day we had to go to Walmart, and I didn't check the forecast, and as we were making our way back, it was snowing like crazy, and the snow was accumulating really fast, and it was really heavy snow to the point where, and it was nighttime, and it was to the point where you couldn't hardly see anything. You couldn't see more than like 15 feet ahead of you. And you know, driving and all the snow, you know, moving your direction, it looked like something from Star Trek, like all the stars, you know, rushing by when the ship's at warp speed. And it was very disorienting. It was hard to see the road. There were points where I didn't know if we were on the road. That was like maybe the worst experience I've ever had driving in my entire life. It was so unexpected. We were so unprepared. It was disorienting, and it was just scary. And I was worried about a few of the hills as we were driving back, because I didn't know if the hills would be too steep, like as we were like climbing up them. But we made it fine. I was thinking today of going to Adirondack, but I didn't realize that the snow was going to be this bad. We had seen some what are they called? Oh my gosh. When it's cold and I'm walking, I'm tired, it's hard to think. Can you see the Christmas tree in the window there? It's toward the left. I'm not going to walk up there because they don't want you to film inside the visitor center. Even though I'm outside, I don't want to get close, at least not until I get permission. And I think I might be able to, the same way I was able to get permission to record inside the conference center. I think I might be able to use that same resource to help me record inside here in the Liberty Jail. But snow plows, that's the word I was thinking of. Snow plows. We saw snow plows, and we saw salt. It seemed that they had pre-salted the roads, but today I'm not seeing much evidence of that. It doesn't seem like it really worked. So I don't know if I was just seeing things. And here's their nativity scene for the Independence Visitor Center. The first thing that they put up was the Christmas tree. We were driving by one night, and I was like, oh, like I always, you know, look inside. I love seeing the Christus from the street at nighttime. So saw the Christmas tree, and then like maybe a week or two later, they put up the nativity right here. Wow. The Community of Christ Temple looks different when it has snow on top of it. Some of those parts are too steep, and you can see where the snow is just fallen off or hasn't been able to accumulate in the first place. That'd be really cool if we could see it going all the way to the top. But that would probably have to be pretty heavy snow. Oh, okay, I gotta be careful here. I don't want to slip, break my neck. So I guess you'll find out with the next video, but after this, I think that's what I'll do. I'll post this video, and then I'll do the Kansas City Giving Machines video. And then after that, and after I'm done recording this, I think we're going to try and go to the Kansas City Temple. I'm going to see what the highways are like. I may actually try and go to Far West. Probably not Adamonte-Amen, because once you get to the entrance of Adamonte-Amen, it's dirt roads. And I doubt that the missionaries would have a way of clearing the dirt roads of snow. They may even just like keep Adamonte-Amen closed, for all I know. Because they have the two gates. The gate that lets you into the Tower Hill area. And then the gate that goes to the Valley Overlook. So if somehow I thought it was safe to go there and I drove all the way there, I wouldn't be surprised to see those gates closed. Oh, it's such a pretty area. Well, maybe we'll just keep recording until we get back to the temple lot. I love the arcade of the Independence Visitor Center. It's just such a unique feature. I mean, at least as far as like everyday architecture goes. The church does have a number of buildings that have arcades like this. So for example, the BYU Jerusalem Center, one of its most prominent features is its arcade. It actually looks pretty similar to the Independence Visitor Center. And then a lot of temples feature an arcade, or at least like a small arcade. Maybe not one that goes around the entire building like this, but I'm thinking, for example, of the Bountiful, Utah temple. As you're walking to the entrance, there's like a, I don't know what you'd call it. I don't think you'd call it a portico. Maybe it is, but it's basically like a overhead covering as you get close to the temple, so that you can stay dry for those last couple, you know, like maybe 5 to 10 yards or meters. There is one temple, now that I'm remembering it, that actually looks a lot like the BYU Jerusalem Center. It's the Brasilia, Brazil temple. I actually have to wonder how much it may have been influenced by the BYU Jerusalem Center. I also think the Toronto, Canada temple. It has kind of a prominent arcade feature. Okay, once again, I'm going to try not to slip. Oh gosh, that was a close one. Yeah, we've made it back to the temple lot. Whew. And then just one more I want to mention. Temples like the Dallas, Texas temple, the Boise, Idaho temple, the first Philippines temple. I don't know the name of the city, but that series of temples, they're kind of part of a series. If you look along, oh gosh, if you look along the sides of those temples, they have this kind of like, it's not necessarily like a full arcade where the columns reach the ground, but it kind of looks like ribs. It's like a partial arcade, but oh gosh, anyway, I'm absolutely tired now. Much harder to walk this in the snow than when it's dry. But thank you so much for joining me. I will be putting out more videos, maybe just not every day, and I'll talk to you guys later.